I just wanted to take a second to go over the Invertebrate Explorers Field Journal to answer any questions or confusion that some of you may have with these assignments. So, at the time of this recording, you have entries 1 through 6 that should be completed. Entries 4 through 6 should be turned in by class on Friday. Which would be the 9th of January at the time of this recording. So the first couple slides just gives you your objective for this assignment. So you can go ahead and read through those. The protocol for scientific documentation will give you an idea of what I expect your diagrams to look like. For example, this image on the right of the screen here, your title card would be on the top. That would be all the important taxonomic information that you want to include in each diagram. And then your drawing with the labeled parts below. Right, so really, for consistency's sake, all of your diagrams should look similar to what we have on the right. Right, your title card on the top with all the important information, your diagram, and then there are a few entries where there are questions you have to answer as well, and you can just put the questions below the diagram. That works as well. And again, so not only are these a homework assignment, but they also are going to be so critically important for your success on the midterm, because you'll use these diagrams to answer questions on your midterm exam. So again, this is a quick guide to the diagram assessment. Gives you the requirements, right? 1 through 4 here, read through those. And then if we look, so here's entry 1, which was due today, actually, January 7th. What I want you to do is I wanted you to draw each of those images that you see on the left, right? Document the fundamental structure of the phylum. For diagram 1, that's the overall anatomy of the sponge. That's that first image on the left. And then diagram 2 would be the detailed view of that specialized cell known as the collar cell or choanocyte. And that tells you to label all features, right? And then the inquiry points are the questions for this assignment. So you would answer those questions based on the material in the lecture, right? The title card for this would just be Phylum Porifera, Common Name Sponges. Then you move through, and it's the same for each of them. You follow the illustration brief, so you got an image here on the left. You draw those images in your own drawing style. Again, I'm not grading you on your artistic abilities, just your accuracy of labeling. And then follow the instructions, right? It's telling you to diagram the polyp form. That's the image on the very left there. Those are your sessile cnidarians. Those would be like your sea anemones and coral polyps, things like that. And then the diagram on the right there is your medusa body form, and those are your motile cnidarians, like your jellyfish, right? And then for this one, it tells you just to label the mouth and the tentacles for both forms. So you don't have to label every piece in this one, just what I am asking you. And then your document title, i.e. your title card, has to include the phylum, which is Cnidaria, and then below that, polyp and medusa body plan for cnidarian organisms. Right? No questions attached with this one. The next one would be the scyphozoan life cycle, that image on the right there. So you draw that image on the right, diagram the cycle. You want to label all of those stages that you see there. And then your title card has to include the phylum, which is Cnidaria, your class, which is Scyphozoa, and then below that, scyphozoan life cycle. And then below this entry, you're going to answer these questions here, right? The field inquiry questions. Entry 4, same idea. You're going to draw and label these parts of this sandworm here. Right? You're going to draw the external anatomy, and these worms are annelid. Right? Your document title should include the phylum, which is annelid, class, which is polychaete or polychaeta, and common name, which is sandworm in this case. And then you're going to answer these questions about the arthropod. Now, you have to watch some of the videos to answer some of them, or you can do some quick Google searches. But the lecture, which you'll find on Google Classroom, has many of the answers as well. Entry 5, right? Answer these 2 questions at the top, right? Which you'll find the answer to those questions in lecture. And then you're just going to diagram each of these organisms and just answer these questions, right? Include information on its method of feeding. So for class Gastropoda, which are your common snail, you'll answer those questions. For class Bivalvia, the common clam or mussel, you'll answer those questions that are italicized. And then for the class Cephalopoda, same thing. You're going to answer those questions below. Entry 6, you're going to select a species of nudibranch, right? And you'll create a detailed diagram of it, right? In the lecture, or you can do an online search for that diagram, and then you'll label all the major external components. And then the title card or the data sheet will include the taxonomy, phylum, class, order. You'll answer its physiology, how it feeds and how it breathes, respiration, and then the defense mechanism of the nudibranch. Same entry 7. Again, you'll just follow the instructions for specimen 1, specimen 2, answer any questions that might be relevant. Your title card below here, document title, ensure each diagram has a full title block with phylum, class, and common name. Right? The top image is sea star, bottom image is sea urchin, as you see here. Same thing here. You got your crinoid. This is your entry 8. All right. Follow the instructions on the right. Draw the image is on the left. Same here. Specimen 1, specimen 2, and then your diagram, your documentation and labeling. Right. So follow the instructions as you see here. Entry 10, same thing. You're going to draw each image, the image on the left of the copepod, right? Diagram the dorsal and ventral views as you see here, and then title it with this taxonomy. And then specimen 2, same thing. And then that concludes your diagrams. Now, only diagrams 1 through 6 are due 1 through 3 are due today on the 7th of January, and then 4 through 6 are due on the start of class Wednesday. I hope that this tutorial of this assignment helps, but certainly if you have any questions or need help, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. I want this to be fun and kind of creative, so don't get too bogged down on the details and don't be too hard on yourself on the artistic side. I'm sure that whatever you come up with is going to be excellent. We're almost done, guys. You got this. I'm proud of y'all. Keep up the good work.